So we've got High Master Aki versus Guile. And you said, I wanted to actually have some insight on what is your thought process behind using light snake step after things like heavy kick or a bubble. I also have a lot of trouble with parrying a lot since I got used to perfect parrying a lot of things, which is my biggest problem. Okay, so you think you're overusing parry. Let's have a look. Because I think just before we start, I think it's really important that I ask you what you think your weaknesses are, because sometimes when I ask for replay reviews, one of the things that I notice is there's a big disconnect between like the things that people think about their own gameplay and what they're actually doing. So sometimes I'll talk to someone and they'll be like, yeah, my problem is that I'm way too defensive. I'm way too slow and cautious. And then I watch their replay and they're like rushing down like a fucking lunatic. And I'm like, okay, first problem is you're not able to analyze your own gameplay objectively. Like, that's one of the biggest issues people have. So let's have a look. That's why I ask you for your opinion first. Because one of the most important things you need to learn about replay analysis is how to look at your own gameplay objectively. So let's have a look. I mean, I'm an Aki player as well, so hopefully I can give some more personalized advice here. I mean, you get jumped in on round start, but that's just like bad luck. Okay, nice parry. Okay, so what I would be thinking at this point, let me just slow this down a little bit. So you get hit by like the really early jump, and that's just bad luck. There's not really anything you could have done about that. Your opponent just up forwarded at the same time as you did the whip. Like that's just whatever, you know. So the guy then takes you to the corner. They do drop their combo. I'd be thinking about that. But then I would at this point, the thing about fighting games is they're an information exchange, right? You're kind of like deciding how much information to give about yourself. And the very first jump in, I could just rationalize as just like, oh, okay, he had a read, or he just went for it, and that's fine. But the fact that he did round start jump in, took you to the corner, and then immediately did a DI, at this point, you need to be thinking, okay, my opponent is a lunatic. Like, no offense to this Guile player, but if a character that is renowned for being like a slow defensive zoning character jumps at you almost immediately and then DIs you straight after, and then this whiff stand medium kick 3 times in your face, this Guile player has already given you tons of information about their playstyle. Okay? It looks like you're, like, understandably kind of just down backing out of confusion. Like, I'd probably also just be holding down back, like, what is bro cooking? But it's important to think about this stuff because you now know, you now have a ton of information about your player, your opponent, I should say. We're only 8 seconds into the round. Your opponent has basically showed you their hand. If this was a game of poker, they have turned their cards around and it's a giant message that says, I am a lunatic. I am going to rush you down. I'm going to try and tilt you. So this is what you need to be thinking almost immediately. He tries to jump out the corner. Nice interrupt. Okay. I like that you're parrying that. Obviously, countering it with your own DI is better, but that's fine. So I would not be throwing fireballs at all. Against a player like this Guile has established to you that he does not give a shit about zoning. He is just gonna, like, face roll at you as hard as possible. So I would completely abandon any projectile game against someone like this, because the moment that you go back to neutral here, like the split second there's any downtime, this guy is going to start doing stuff. So if your opponent has shown you this much information about themselves, you need to switch to a more reactive game plan. It seems like you're still trying to play like a proactive game plan, but you need to, against players like this, you need to be reactive. You need to just wait for them to do stupid things. So I would just hold back and wait for them to either jump or drive rush. Again, I think you need to learn the art of doing nothing here. You shouldn't, I would just be doing nothing and just wait for your opponent to do something silly. Nice idea. You got stuck in stance. Little bit of matchup knowledge for you. Just, this is like specialized Aki knowledge you may or may not be aware of. If Guile ever does Sonic Blade in a situation like this, you can always punish. It's a free punish. if you just react to it. So he did the blade like super minus here. I just switched to player control. This is just a free crouch fierce. Punish counter, guaranteed. You might even get crouch heavy kick. Yeah. It doesn't look like you should be able to do this, but this move has a gigantic hurt box, which a lot of people don't know about. So this could have been a big opening. And pretty much every character can sweep that, by the way, in case you don't know. Yeah, if you want the safest option, crouch heavy punch is your best bet here, but crouch heavy kick works too. Just so you know. Anyway. Okay, so you're getting jumped in a lot, and yeah, so I would recommend, like I said, focus, when your opponent is showing you that they're hyper aggressive, you need to be content just anti-airing, like that, exactly, perfect start, good adaptation. Round start, you just walked up, wait for the jump, and then anti-air. Nice. Okay, fill up the puddle, yep, I agree. Oh, huge punish. Oh, unfortunate drop though. So in this situation, you got the kill anyway, so that's fine. But this is like, you know, every single best case scenario lining up for you here. You put the puddle down and you blocked EX flash kick. This is like Aki highlight reel levels of optimal starter. Probably still fine. Yeah, if you wanted to, you could just do like this. That works too. But I mean, you know, you got the kill anyway, so I won't be too harsh about it. Your way worked too. You went for a DI reset? Oh, I just mistimed it. Okay. Fair enough. But yeah, that round was a lot better. I liked the anti-air at the start. Nice. Nice, perfect parry. I would safe jump here. One thing, again, this is not really a case of like you're doing it right or wrong. This is more just what I would do. But against players like this, people who are showing you that they're going to play extremely belligerently, I like to safe jump players like this 24/7. It's one of the nice things about Aki is that your basic combo ender is a safe jump. So against players like this who are just not going to block, they're going to do wake up DI, they're going to do wake up flash kick. I would definitely be rotating more safe jump into my arsenal here, but that's just my opinion. There's no right or wrong answer. Yeah, see, I think what you're experiencing is an issue that a lot of players have, which is that you lose a sense of time. I guarantee you that if I asked you how long you were playing neutral for against this Guile player, you would tell me that you were just like in neutral blocking fireballs for like 20 seconds. But in real time, most of the time I'm noticing, when you get back into this neutral position, you'll hold this sort of spacing for about 4 or 5 seconds, and then you feel like, oh god, I need to do something, and then he just up forwards at you. Like, you need to kind of slow down and just do nothing for... And it can feel like an eternity, but then you watch back the replay, and it was actually like 3 seconds that you were not doing anything. Because, yeah, this guy is just up forwarding 24/7. You experience time compression when you're playing fighting games. Holding down back for 2 seconds feels like an eternity. Nice. You get DI'd. Okay, I agree. Absolutely good, the right choice there. You want a level 3. Get your drive back and take him down to about 1.5 bars. Okay, this is, in theory, this is checkmate right here. In theory. It's not like, instant loss, but your opponent is now in burnout with 0 bars against Aki. This is like the best position you want to be in. Yeah. Nice. Grab the DI. Okay, nice. Kept it together at the end. It was kind of a risky DI, because like if he neutral jumps here, or if he forward jumps, I mean this guy has shown you that he is up forwarding 24/7. So like if he had forward jumped here, you probably would have lost. It worked out, so it was the right decision. But I would say, where was it? The moment that you got the burnout here. I think the correct play here is EX Fireball, and then just wait. I think that's the optimal play in this position. If you just EX Fireball here, it will blow through his Sonic Boom, and then you get to start the party with a burnout loop. And if he forward jumps the EX Fireball, you would recover fast enough to anti-air. So, it's hard to know in the heat of the moment, but you were a little bit too hesitant, and the light whip here was kind of... The thing about doing whip in neutral in a situation like this is it's pretty low reward, because like, even if this whip connects, it doesn't really lead to much. But, I mean, Uraki's in a good spot. I think you're on the right track. I just think you need to... The thing about playing ranked in Street Fighter is you need to build two completely different playstyles. This is the thing that I've talked about a bit in the past. You need to have a playstyle for people who are thinking, and a separate playstyle for people who are just throwing themselves at you. You need to have a sort of like planned playstyle, and you need to have a lunatic control playstyle. And these are usually quite separate. There is a bit of crossover. It feels like you've got a decent planned game style, but your game plan against lunatics is the same thing. So like I said, you need to just be content to do nothing and react to your opponent throwing themselves at you. Oh, also insight on light snake step if possible. Specifically against Guile, it's a tricky one to use effectively, but like, so there's a couple different reasons to use light snake step in this matchup specifically. Partly because it baits flash kick, and this is a thing that Aki is actually not good at in this matchup. So one thing you may have noticed about this matchup is that if you cancel any normal into any special, Guile can almost always EX flash kick through it. Like you can't do this, because that'll win. You can't do cower crouch, because that'll win. You can't do dive, or you can't do any of the cower crouch follow-ups. You can't do flip. Like, Guile EX flash kick is a very good option after he sees you do any special cancel in this matchup. So one of the things you want to be doing is you want to be mixing in stand heavy kick into light slide, so that happens. This is the only way you can punish Guile for flash kicking in that gap. So it's very useful in this matchup for that, but you got to space it well, because if you're too close, this will happen. It's only at max range. So there's that, and there's also one lesser used thing that's useful in this matchup, and that's fucking up Guile's charge rotations. So this is kind of hard to explain, but like basically Guile players will throw the second boom with the, like the moment that they see the first boom has made contact with you, like this. So they will like confirm that you've blocked the first boom, and the moment that you block the first boom, they'll release the second one like that. But what you can do, the nice thing about light snake step is it means that you can wait until the last moment and then do that. And do you see? The Guile assumed that I was going to block the boom and release the second one, but because the first boom was still on screen, because it hadn't made contact yet, he whiffed the crouch jab, and now he's completely lost his charge. His charge rotation from boom to boom is now completely fucked up. You want to like disrupt the boom loop timing, because now he has to like manually start recharging on the next boom. So that's why I'm doing that, because it fucks up the sort of like rotation of like charge, boom, charge, boom, charge, boom. That's why I do that. So those are two useful things in that matchup. Hopefully that was useful.